What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Shiv, and today we're going to be talking about DDs, more specifically, how people are treating them. It's no surprise that with all of the radar ships that were introduced in the past year, that DDs have taken rather quite a bit of a hit. Combine this with the fact that there are now several DD classifications that could be labeled as DD hunters, and you can understand why a lot of DD players are playing a little bit cautiously. Now, this isn't to say that playing cautiously is a good thing or a bad thing. There's a old adage that basically says there's bold DD players and there's old DD players, but there are no bold old DD players. Well, that is kind of true in many regards, and in other regards, it is not. It all depends on the type of DD you're actually playing. Case point example, we are playing a Benson here. Now, the Benson is classified as a hybrid DD. Now, what do I mean when I say hybrid? Well, it's not quite a torp spamming boat like most of the Japanese DDs are, and it's not quite a gunboat like, say, the Akazuki, Yugamo, Kozak, etc. are. It is somewhere in between. It has a good amount of guns with a decent rate of fire, and it has the ability of putting out some pretty long-range torpedoes at a decent interval of time. It doesn't really excel at any one thing, but it generally functions pretty nicely in between. It also happens to have a great amount of concealment at tier 8 at 5.8.
Smoke generator started.
But there are other types of classifications. You've got your torp spamming, you've got your gunboat, and within those classifications, specifically the gunboats, you also get what is referred to as, say, a DD hunter. Ships like the Kitakaze excel at hunting DDs. The moment they get within range, they can pretty much out DPS even tier 10 ships. Hell, the Akazuki could do this. And then, of course, when you look at the hybrids, the Z series by the Germans is also extremely good at hunting DDs because, well, it comes with a hydro. So if you think you're going to hide in smoke, nope, you're not. He will track you down. So when you add all these things together, as well as the fact that everybody is playing CV right now in preparation for the CV rework, it's a really bad time to be a DD. True fact. Oh, and did I forget to mention that battleships can pretty much do 20,000 damage to us on demand? I'm not even joking, and I've done this repeatedly in my Republic, where I will hit a gearing for 17, 18, 19, 21,000 at one point. I was shocked. I didn't think that was possible. Though, to be perfectly honest, that 21,000 came while I was playing the first. But still, you kind of get what I'm getting at here, you know? Like, it used to be DDs were the bane of battleships, which was one of the reasons why I hated DDs, and I never really wanted to play them. But over the course of time, I started seeing a lot of, well, bad DD players. There was no scouting, there was no engaging of enemy DDs, and I kept complaining about it. Well, I stopped doing that, and I sat back and I went, well, I wonder, is it really that hard to play a DD correctly? Is it really that hard to actually play a DD in this environment with radar and hydroacoustic everywhere and fighter planes always keeping us scouted? Is it really that hard? It's challenging. I'm not going to lie. It's very challenging, but it's not that hard, ladies and gentlemen. It really isn't. There are just a lot of people who play them badly. And you're going to see that with every classification of ships. DD players are no different. With the exception of maybe the Japanese torp spamming players. For some odd reason, you generally don't see that many good Kageros, Yugamo, or Shimakaze players. This doesn't mean that they don't exist. It's just you don't see that many of them. Truth be told, it's not a very fun playstyle, and their effectiveness is pretty much limited into zone denial. But again, that's my own personal opinion. I am biased. I don't find their gameplay to be overly thrilling or enjoyable in any way, shape, or form. Now, one of the other things that came about thanks to all this hydro and radar is the whole concept of sitting in smoke, camping, while just unloading the guns. This was a trick that American DDs had been doing for the longest time. This is how they basically made their bones. You know, if they didn't hit with their torpedoes, they knew at least they were going to get a decent amount of damage off fires and HE shells. Well, not anymore. So American DDs really took a hard hit on that, so they had to get a lot better at shooting their torps. Now, my torps right now look like they're not really going to do anything. Remember, Benson has 55 knot torps, some of the slowest at tier 8. So you kind of have to plan ahead, and you're going to see something pretty spectacular here. But still, sitting in smoke like we're about to do can really be dangerous, especially with another DD nearby or anybody with radar or hydroacoustic. You just don't want to do it. You just don't. And yes, this guy is flooding, and he's about to be set on fire because, you know, he used his decon wrong. It happens. So when you see a DD player out there and you see them doing things that you know are wrong, all right? Don't yell at them, all right? Don't sit there and, you know, bash them and call them every horrible name in the book. That's just being a bully, all right? We get enough of that on a daily basis in this game. We don't need to add to it, all right? DDs are the most powerful resource a team can have unless they have a carrier, and then that is the most powerful resource they can have, all right? DDs are the eyes and ears of your team. Without a DD spotting, a Yamato cannot hit those long range shots. A Missouri cannot hit those medium nice shots. They can't find those juicy cruisers. They can't find those battleships at range without the DD. They are imperative. Without DDs, you are not going to be capping very fast. All right, that's just God's honest truth. Without DDs, you're most likely not going to have an effective solution for dealing with enemy DDs like this Icarus right here, who I've been just tangling with all freaking game. All right, without us, you would have to contend with these things. All right, which brings up another point. DD's not getting supported at all, and this is something I've seen time and time again. A DD goes to cap, and they're in the cap, and then all of a sudden here comes an enemy DD followed by 3 cruisers. While your team, they went somewhere else. They did not decide to support you. So you have one of 2 options. YOLO and die, trying to throw torps out to hopefully hit a couple ships with them, or run away. Well, the smart play is actually run away, but this brings up a ton of other issues. You got people saying, oh, you're a coward, oh, you're this, learn to play your class. There's not really much you can do in that situation. The reality is, folks, this is a team game. So check your ego and your E-peen at the door and learn to support your fellow shipmates, all right? You'll have a much better experience. You're more likely to win when you actually try to play as a team rather than seeing who can chalk up the highest amount of damage. Anybody can do that. It's called playing an Atago. It's called playing a Wooster. It's called playing anything that spams HE. You can damage farm like it's going out of style. But guess what? Damage farming will not win you the game. God's honest truth. Well, anyway, that's just my 2 thoughts here. DD's rough spot. Try to be a little bit more understanding. And if you think you can do better playing as a DD, then do it. Play a DD. And if you're not a DD player and you think you could do better, please go right ahead. You will understand that there are many challenges that they face. And I'll tell you right now, once you start playing DD and you start getting good at it, you'll start realizing how to defeat them as every other class of ship. Well, that's all I got to say for now. So till next time, this ship's saying stay safe, have fun. May Honor Jesus bless you. Peace.